Hello Cancer, my name is Agatha and this is your astrological reading for September 2016. This month there's two eclipses, and eclipses always indicate major transformations in one's life. In the 1st of September, the solar eclipse happens on the 9th degree of Virgo, and then on the 16th of September the lunar eclipse happens on the 24th degree of Pisces. So, what does this mean to you, Cancer? In your case, Cancer, the solar eclipse, which indicates new beginnings, happens on your third house. So, for the next 6 months, your third house activities will be emphasized. So, for some, it could be that you might need to buy a new car. Maybe your old car is giving lots and lots of mechanical problems, and you need to buy a new car. But you need to buy a new car probably because of work in positions. Either it's work in positions or anything to do with your health. So, for health reasons, you need to buy a car. Or even to go and visit your sister, a brother, you need to buy a car. Or need to have constant travels around the neighborhood to visit a sibling due to health reasons. It could be that, or it could be that you have a job. It doesn't matter if it's a new job or an old job. Something about your job requires for the next 6 months you to use a car. Now, you could be on sales, for instance, and maybe your company lost a salesman or a saleswoman, and you have to do that work now for at least for the next 6 months, for instance. I'm just giving you examples. And you need to use your car. So for the next 6 months, you have to use your car to go and just sell whatever it is that you sell. It could be food. It could be food items because it's Virgo. Virgo is connected with food. Or it's maybe connected again with your job, with your work. Maybe there was some sort of change in the place of work. So for the next 6 months where you worked, something happened to it. Maybe they're repairing the building, and you and your co-workers need to move to another building. And in this new building, there's no public transportation. For you to get there, there's no public transportation, so you need to take your car. Now, your car can have lots and lots of mechanical problems, mechanical issues that even the mechanic doesn't really quite know how to figure it out, because maybe because you need to work your car, you need to use your car so much, and that brings mechanical problems. Or whatever car you buy might. Again, it's for the same reason. Either you need to visit a cousin, it could be a cousin, a sibling, or something to do with work. There might even if it's new, there might be some issues connected with your car that your mechanic doesn't know how to solve. Another way of reading this, there could be lots and lots of messages that come to you connected either with the health of a sibling or siblings, or with issues around siblings that might have to do with a brother-in-law or sister-in-law, or a court case. What I'm thinking is, let's say that you and your sibling, you're trying to divide assets that came to you and your siblings in inheritance. So maybe some of you are like for the next 6 months are just sending messages to each other, or talking to each other, communicating to each other, relating to those assets in the way it's divided. In some cases, might even go to court. Either your brother-in-law or sister-in-law puts you in court because, or you all decide to go to court in order to, have a fair judgment in terms of what asset goes to whom, what property goes to whom. So there could be some sort of issues with that. If it's not that, these communications, these messages are related to your job, to your work. So there might be a boss who's really annoying, is really kind of loads you with work, so much work that you have to take your work home. So you're at home trying to relax, trying to just unwind, and for the next 6 months you have to deal with work-related issues. So you get messages from your boss at 10 p.m. or whatever. So basically you are at home, but you're still working. You're working all the freaking time. What else? This could be relating to a neighbor. For instance, maybe there's some changes around your neighborhood, or someone comes and lives in a new neighbor comes and live in your building, and this new neighbor, or again, it could not be a new neighbor, it could be the same, an old neighbor, but there might be some neighbor or neighbors who really, there's lots and lots of rules either in your neighborhood or in your building. Tiny little rules for everything. You cannot do this, you cannot do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And tiny little rules, really annoying rules that you have to follow because you live in this building or because you live in this neighborhood. And maybe there's some sort of clashes with a neighbor because a neighbor is really meticulous and detailed and really annoying about every single tiny little rule. And maybe you don't follow one or two rules because you think it's stupid. And maybe this neighbor puts you in court, takes you to court because of these tiny little rules that you didn't follow. It could be some sort of issue, and this can even take 6 months in order to get solved. And then the full moon, the lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse talks about culminations or endings. It depends from person to person, from chart to chart. In your case, Cancer, it happens on your 9th house. So this could be a culmination or an ending connected with your higher knowledge to your university studies. So some of you end or finish up a college course. You end university studies, okay? But maybe the college course that you end, which you finished, has nothing to do with you. Not anymore. You've changed. So you started this course or this college course maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it meant something to you, but meanwhile you've grown, you've changed somehow. I didn't mention everything. I'm gonna mention you've grown, you've changed in this college course. Even though you finished, it doesn't mean anything to you anymore. I mean, you've changed so much, it just makes no sense to you anymore. Now, going a little bit back to the solar eclipse, which happens in your 3rd house, this could also be starting a training, some sort of training, starting a course that you need to start, and this will mean intense study for the next 6 months, and it might be connected with your work. Maybe it's something which is imposed by your job, by your boss. You need to take this course, and you need to study, and you need to pass. Or it's something that you yourself, Cancer, you want to do because you want to move on up. You know, you want a bigger title, you want a bigger salary, and you make a sacrifice. You understand that you need to study, you need to take this course in order to move on up. So it will be in the next 6 months, they will be intense, lots and lots of studying, but you'll do it. You'll do it because you want to be promoted, and you want to earn more money in your work. If it's not that, it could be, for instance, that you are really, like I said, around the 16th of September, finishing up a university course, and then you're going to continue that university course through maybe online. So you cannot go to classes because you have to work, or because you're ill. It could be that some of you might be ill, so you cannot go physically to the university to take, or the college to take those classes. So you take the continuation of this course, like how do you say, in Portuguese we call it mestrado or pós-graduação, something after the college, after a degree. There's a continuation of that. You have that continuation after you have your degree. You have it online, so you study online for the next, for instance, 2 years, or the next year, for instance. So it could be that, or it could be that you're training people. If you in your job is to train people, if For instance, if you work on a call center, and for the next 6 months, you need to train lots and lots of people to talk about a certain product or to sell a certain product, or just because you need more people to serve the clients. So you might be giving training night and day, like all day long. You're training new people, and maybe you need to train new people not just because this is a new product, or you need more people to talk to the clients, but also maybe there's a lot of maybe people are trained, they are in the job, but they only stay for a week, so they immediately leave because they don't stay. In Portuguese you call this rotatividade. I don't know how to say it, but they don't stay long. So there's a need to keep on training new people because they don't stay long. It could be that for the next 6 months you might be working very hard doing this. So like I said, then the solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse, which is endings or culminations, which happens in the 16th of September, is like an ending to a college course that might not mean anything to you, not anymore, because it's just you ended it, but you're a different person, and this means nothing to you anymore. Or it could be that you are unable to continue your college, your higher studies, either because you don't have money, maybe your spouse or your partner lost his or her job, so you are the only breadwinner you can't afford to continue your studies, or maybe your bosses don't want to give you time for you to continue your college education. So maybe they will not allow you, not even 1 day or 2 days, to go, to leave early or something like that, to go in and go to college. So some sort of imposition, lots and lots of work in your work related in your job doesn't allow you to continue. Or for others it's something to do with your health, and therefore you cannot continue college studies. Others is you are the only breadwinner, you cannot continue. Or you could continue differently, like I said, not the way that you used to, not going to the building itself, to the university or college itself, but you can do it online. It could be that. And it could be a bit different. So let's say for 3 years you studied something, but then at next 2 years you study something completely different. For others it could be that there's an end to a court case. In this court case, you might feel isn't the way it ended, the way it was resolved, it was not in your favor, and you feel like a victim, and you're very mad about this court decision. You're really, really mad. This court decision might be something to do with a sibling, might have something to do with the division of assets. It could be that, between you and your siblings. Maybe there's the brother-in-law, sister-in-law, the in-laws meddled and kind of messed up the relationship you had with your siblings. If it's not siblings, it could be neighbors. So this neighbor who's really annoying about every tiny little thing, he or she puts you in court, takes you to court, and the decision is in his favor or her favor, and maybe you have to pay something to him or her, and for the next 6 months you're paying him or her something, to do with the court decision or whatever it is. But whatever it is, you feel victimized and you don't like the decision. For others, it could be like an end to a spirituality or to a religion. I would say that your spirituality is changing. Maybe you used to be really religious, not exactly spiritual, but religious. And through all the last year, you read a lot. Maybe you read about spirituality and religion and all those sorts of things. And now, the religion that belongs to you, or the way you lived your religion or your spirituality, no longer makes sense because you put your mind in it. It's not only a matter of faith. You are unable to have total and blind faith because you've educated yourself, and to you certain things about the religion, certain things about some sort of aspects of this of spirituality make no logical sense, make no rational sense. So you kind of abandon it. Some of you really abandon a religion because of that, because you just, in terms of your mind, it doesn't make sense, and you just cannot allow yourself only to fully believe fully without being rational. You can't. You have to be rational. You need to analyze this. You need to analyze your religion and your spirituality from a rational point of view. Okay? And if your rationality and if your logic says something which is the opposite of your faith, I think you're going to go with your logic and rationality, because you just can't just blindly follow religion or spirituality. You just can't. You are unable to do so. So there are many different meanings, many different possibilities. So this is a very general reading for you, Cancer, for the months of September 2016. If you'd like a private consultation, please send an email to dunyazad@gmail.com. I'll be delighted to work with you. That's it. Bye bye.